Good day, everybody. It's uh, it's November the 8th, and the time is 11:15 p.m. Not yet midnight. I usually do it in the nights. Uh, just by way of the uh, the information I want to share with you. Uh, we all, you know, the people who believe in what is good for humanity would be gleeful about President Trump winning the presidential election in 3 days ago, 2 days ago. Was it 3 days ago? November the 5th. It's the 8th today. See, the whole point is we what he has been through. I said the same thing in the other video. I don't want to sound redundant. What he had been through, no human being can will be able to endure, withstand what he has been put through. That said, finally, we all feel jubilant because it's a landslide victory. And in 2020, it was a whole different ball game. It was, I don't know if I should say this, but COVID-19 provided a convenient ruse for to rig the election, for the cheating. And the number of, they don't want to go into it now, but let the bygones be bygones. But it's a systematic. I'm a little worried about talking because they will come after me for saying it's conspiracy theory. Every evil that's carried out, if you talk about it's conspiracy theory, you have to, without proof, you cannot talk, right? What is self-evident does not require proof. Like the sun rises every morning, we can see it. Hey, what's the proof, right? And so it's like that. Anyway, leave that aside. It was 2020 was stolen, but I was paranoid this time that they would do the same thing because the financial establishment, so to speak, the deep state and the Washington swamp, and it's unbelievable. Nobody would understand the full extent of how deep this they like I said in the other video, they coined the term deep state, I think in 2011 or 2013, but it is the evil machinery. Is nobody can really fathom how powerful, how deep, how evil they run. And we only talk about billionaires. Money rules the world. Now they say Elon Musk is the richest person. Some say he has his estimated wealth is 200 billion. Recently they say it's 300 million. But Elon Musk himself has said, Russian President Putin, Vladimir Putin is much more richer. Or am I using double comparative? Anyway, he's richer than Elon Musk, according to him, Elon Musk himself. But all that aside, we only talk about billionaires in terms of world's richest people. But what about the trillionaires? And Forbes magazine that takes, the count of the billionaires and publishes, I think it's every 4 years they publish. In 2000, I believe, I don't remember, 2016, I believe they said, subject to correction, but 2,882 or 86 or thereabouts. And then now recently they say there are 3,193 or 92 billionaires. Still, it's billionaires. Forbes magazine doesn't talk about trillionaires. They say there are no trillionaires. The reason being, they have a criteria. They only estimate your personal wealth. They should be able to trace it to your name. And if it's in someone else's name, your family members, your sisters, your mother, and your children, and your aunt, and so on, it's not accounted. So what can be traced to your name is considered to be your wealth according to the criteria. And then the other criteria is they don't account the politicians, the world leaders, etc. Right? Who else? Politicians, world leaders, and they are exempt, right? And so that's what it is. And there are trillionaires operating from behind, and they're not individuals, they're dynasties. You can go in and read about it. I don't know whether it's just I got to be very I'm apprehensive about saying things, right? And but it's all on Google. If you do your research, you will come up with all the information you want. There's so many families, billionaire families, Carnegie family, steel corporations in US, Rothschild family, the richest family in the world, royal family of England, trillionaires, and who else? JP Morgan. Now recently, JP Morgan's name, it's a bank, credit cards and everything, JP Morgan. And there is a corporation, or it's not a corporation, it's a conglomerate known as BlackRock, and their wealth it runs into trillions. Now we are talking about trillions. Now how much is a trillion? People who think about how many zeros it has, simple. This is how you can conceive how much is a trillion would be. If you spend $1 million, $1 million, can you spend $1 million? Probably 95% of the world population has not seen, in their lifetime, not seen $1 billion. But for the explanation's sake, let's say you have you have millions of dollars. If you spend $1 million every single day of the week, you would have spent $7 million. In 1 month, you would have spent $30 million. In 1 year, you would have spent $365 million. Forget the leap year, okay? Let's round it up, $365 million. So, to spend, we are talking about trillion, but let's take $1 billion. It would take approximately 3 years to spend $1 billion. I think the boxer, not Mike Tyson, the name escapes, the low heavyweight guy is very rich. I think he's at once equipped, I think he said, after $500 million, there's nothing you can buy in this world, right? Even a jet plane, the topmost airline, you can get it for like 75 million, 50 million, depending on how good and if it's a real big plane, 75 million, right? And many years ago, I remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm talking about over 25 years, Arnold Schwarzenegger did a movie, a Hollywood movie that it's Terminator or whatever. I'm not too sure. I'm just saying it from my memory, but just It's subject to correction, but I remember the payment for him. They said was like they gave him a Singapore. They bought or whatever. The Singapore Airline plane was given to him. This I read it somewhere, right? If I'm wrong, that was his payment for the movie. I was at that time. They said it's like $15 million the plane. So we have come a long way. It's like 25 years with everything has gone up in prices. So gives you an idea how much a plane would cost, right? Aircraft. Forget all that, right? So now we're coming to $1 trillion. $1 billion. If you spend $1 million every single day of a day, every single day, it will take you 3 years to 3 years to spend $1 billion. $1 trillion is 1,000 times uh, greater than, bigger than $1 billion. So it would take approximately 3,000 years for you to spend $1 trillion, even if you happen to spend $1 million every single day. You won't live 3,000 years. Even if your progeny, if you're, the money you left for your families and their families and so on, it would, even if they spend $1 million every single day, it would take 3,000 years. Trillion years are there. So that's all part of the deep state. Uh, I was talking about BlackRock and JP Morgan. It is said these two entities are involved in pumping the money and the wherewithal to Ukraine to fund the war, Ukrainian-Russian war. Why would anyone fund the war? Why are Americans trying to fund the war? People don't understand. It's simple. The only I'm going to give you an example. I think I read it somewhere. When the mafia in the 70s and 80s, I guess mafia still is around, but we don't hear about it too much. But when the mafia was like in cities like New York, when they were controlling I guess they were running their own game there. But what they were doing, uh, like when something happened, they would set up the goons and their own goons. They are set up some kind of disturbance or whatever to go rob and loot and break and set fire to the store and plunder and pillage. So any disturbance, and then when all subsides, the police controlled everything. Let's say everything, legally, all everything is brought under control. The very next week, when everything is calm and calm and quiet, the mafia would come and open a construction company in the same area where all this looting and setting fire to the stores and all that happened, and they would set up a construction company, and they would do it, and they would set up the same after all the damage is done, they would have their own business to construct, to do all the construction and restore everything back to normal with all these stores. So that's how these wars are, right? You pump the money, these big entities, the deep state, different entities are involved. They pump the money, and they don't want to protect their own southern border wall, because they don't want the illegal immigrants have to come. They are all mules. Yes, illegal. good number of them come in search of greener pastures. But when they do come, a good percentage of them are mules, meaning they are drug mules. I'm talking about illicit drugs coming to the country. Fentanyl, all these, I don't even know, drugs coming from China and South America, destroying the population, right? And so, who is getting, why the leaders are not putting a stop to it? Why they want the open border? Because they're getting money coming under the table, need a shovel, right? So that's what it is, right? Shoveling under the table using a slang, right? And they're not going to do it. And Trump, now this is the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 3 days after the election, he declared he's going to put a stop to this illegal immigration. Oh, he's heartless, he's that, he's this. This is what the scoundrels and the parasites and the scoundrels in the society who call themselves in responsible position as leaders do, right? And we need someone like Donald Trump. I mean, if there is a Donald Trump in every part of the world would be a much better place. I mean, I'm just being saying it with levity, and but the whole, I guess, see better times ahead. So we'll stop at that. And if I had said anything inappropriate, I profusely want to apologize, and I said what I felt. Thank you.